What is going down, squad? We got Jason Aponte in the Bay. We got to see the lovely Jason Aponte today on location at 49ers practice. How's it feel to be back in the Bay Area, Jason?
The Bay Area is a beautiful thing. Seeing Brad Graham and watching the outpouring of love for Brad Graham. Hey, can I take a picture with Brad Graham? That is the stuff that really makes me happy. Being able to hang out with him, Jordan, get back to what we've been doing, man. This is a beautiful time right now. But yeah, it's best to see you more than anything.
Oh, it's been a blast to see you, man. It's been since the combine since we've seen you. And it was also great to see the man, the myth, the legend,
What's up, man?
Jordan Elliott popping in to the chat. What's good, my guy?
What's up? Hey, man, I'm living life. I got to hang out with Brad Graham. I got Jason Aponte doing lives in my laundry room. Like, life doesn't get better than this, man. Like...
Man, it's been a fun day. Again, Jordan and I have been there last 2 days. We got to see Jason today. But let's talk about some training camp. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about. I say we start with the hot topic, and we'll just jump right into it, and then we'll kind of go from there. Let's do assessments of Trey Lance. Let's start with Jason, and then we'll work our way down to Jordan, and we'll kind of wrap it up. What is your initial thoughts? Because this is Jason's first day seeing Trey Lance as the quarterback one. How did you feel today seeing the Trey Lance out there?
I think the best way you can say it is just, Trey Lance is Jordan. You got to mute yourself. I can hear myself on you. It's like, oh my goodness. So good. Forgive us, guys. This is great TV. We're just working through it. Trey Lance was up and down today, and there's many factors to why that happened. There's context that needs to be applied. Look, there's no pads, but this defensive line was giving this offensive line everything that they could handle, and Trent Williams didn't play today. So the one thing that's kind of weird is this is something that I didn't really see coming. Daniel Brunskill taking a lot of the center steps with the first team. And Spencer Burford is the right guard that they continue to give the first team reps to. Okay. So, yes, while the pocket was collapsing a ton, and Jordan pointed out, he was like, I'm going to let you cook, but, like, those were sacks, like, on certain plays and everything as well, too. Like, thank you for that. But this is the fun. Like, this is like we're just giving you some of the stuff that, like, while we're sitting up and we're talking to each other.
The behind the scenes action.
The behind the scenes stuff. The man behind the man. But the thing is this. He was just a little bit off on certain timing throws, the intermediate stuff. And, for anybody that's never been to training camp, if there's a sack or anything like that, they just allow the play to continue. You're not going to rip the guy down, like, save the quarterback, things like that. But it's a work in progress, I think, at this point. And I think that there's no reason to overreact. If Trey Lance came out today and he went 18 for 18, didn't throw any picks and 6 touchdowns, that doesn't mean get the fucking gold jacket ready for Trey Lance. Like, that's not what that means either. In the same way that today he was a little up and down, doesn't mean that anything you should be super worried about. It's day 2 of training camp, no pads. So I got to see him today a little bit, and it wasn't as, like, level. It was up and down, and there was many factors to that. So that's the one thing I wanted to make sure that we got out. And again, we're going to objectively report about this. Like, again, I don't have an agenda. I don't care, like, what's going on with, like, what quarterback or what. Like, if they're not playing well, I'm going to say that. If they're playing well, I'm going to say that. And that's it. Like, he had an interception that he threw directly to Jimmy Ward. Like, Jimmy Ward's never had an easier interception in his life. And that's just what it was. Like, that's just what happened today. But that doesn't, again, a bad performance isn't something to overreact to in the same way that a good performance isn't, like, put him in the Hall of Fame. That's all.
Right, and I think you're talking about just kind of contextualizing everything, right? The offensive line, the kind of lack of continuity up front. Again, defensive line versus O-line with no pads on. It's really hard to judge, like, really what's going down. And also, too, with Trey Lance, we saw him start early. It was a little rocky. He had a pass to Juwan Jennings that was behind him on a slant route. The timing was off. We saw him try to hit it out to Ray, and it kind of was a little ahead of him. But I think one of the things that we also got to see is we got to see Trey Lance keep fighting through that and actually get better as practice progressed. Still wasn't perfect, but we were able to see a progression at least. Jordan, what were you seeing from Trey Lance today from, your perspective?
I just saw a quarterback that needs some time, some reps, and some, experience as QB1 going up against the first team defense, getting those reps in that he's getting. It's going to be a process that takes time. It's not something that's where he's just going to step on the field right away and be this Hall of Fame level MVP, all pro caliber quarterback. I think oftentimes people confuse the ceiling that he has and the physical traits that he has and think that equates to immediate success because Shanahan's so good, the skill position players are so good. But that's just unfair to Trey Lance, and it's unfair to reality and the expectations that come from a realistic, setting. And I just think that Trey Lance had some plays today where he looked really good. The arm looked lively. He's creating off script. He had this one throw. Again, it was a play where he probably was sacked, if we're being completely honest. If it's real life, these plays are going 4.5, 5 seconds. You're not going to have that much time in a real game. But the physical aspect of it was still impressive, where he's moving to his left and he threw across his body moving left, which for a right-handed quarterback is extremely difficult. And he put a ball on a rope 15 yards upfield to Brandon Ayuk. So the talent's there. Like, it's very clear why the 49ers coveted him so much, why they moved mountains to move up to draft him, and why they feel very confident about him going forward. It's just going to be a process, and it's going to be really hard going up against what probably has a chance to be the best defense in the entire NFL. This Niners defense, I know you want to talk about Trey Lance. This Niners defense has stole the show the first 2 days of training camp. They are incredibly talented. And there's also a makeshift offensive line that's having to block the best defensive line in football without pads right now. So all things considered, I'm not worried about Trey Lance in the slightest. Yeah, if we're being honest, there was a little bit of inconsistency today. There were some plays that I'm sure he could wish he could have back and would go and redo if he had the ability to. But you know what? That's the beauty of training camp. Nobody cares what happens when week 1 rolls around. Everybody remembers that practice where Jimmy threw 5 picks, the sky was falling. Guess what? The 49ers won 13 games and went to the Super Bowl that year. So I just think, again, it's a situation. Iron's going to sharpen iron. This defense is only going to serve to make Trey better. He could throw a million picks during camp, but if he's coming away with lessons, which I believe he is, and he's getting better as a result of some of these mistakes that he's making, that's a net win for the 49ers. And I have absolutely zero reason to believe that's not what's happening so far.
And I like the point that you pointed out, the lesson part of it, because it felt like as camp today was progressing, he was kind of settling in. He was able to kind of deal a little bit more. Again, still making the occasional mistake, but you kind of saw the ball coming out cleaner. He had that really, really nice throw. I think I just saw maybe Sourdough Sam posted a dope picture of Brandon Ayuk catching a really nice contested catch. I can't remember if that one was particularly from Trey Lance, but the one I'm thinking about is
Brad. Let's not broadcast that because we weren't supposed to be like taking pictures or anything like that about stuff. No, it's cool. No, it's a beautiful picture. I agree 100%.
Yeah, no. But way to blow up the spot. So now the play that I was talking about was that particular throw to Brandon Ayuk that was towards the sideline. It was a layered throw. It was really nice. So we saw some good. We saw some bad. It's par for the course, right, for Trey Lance. I think we can all agree that we need to see Trey Lance just get more reps, get more time, and be more comfortable in the system. And, of course, having some time to throw up front will absolutely help that. But Jordan kind of touched on it, and I'll kick it back to you, Jordan. We'll circle back around the other way. Who was most impressive to you from training camp? Offense, defense, who was it?
It was Charvarius Ward, and it was Charvarius Ward by a decent margin. And there were a lot of really good players on that field today, so that should tell you how good Charvarius Ward was. He looked every bit the part of what a number 1 corner should look like. I think the 49ers, even though it's day 2 of training camp, there's a long way to go. I don't think they're taking premature victory laps. But in this moment, I think they're feeling really good about the signing that they made and the decision they made to go out and invest in a corner of Ward's caliber. He was putting receivers they were having a hard time today. He was putting them in extremely difficult positions, weren't getting much separation. When they did get separation, he was attacking the ball at the catch point, fighting through these balls on the sideline, pinning these guys on the sideline, going vertical so they didn't have space to come back in bounds when they did go up for the ball. Again, he just looked every bit the part of what a true number 1 corner should be. And I think when you pair that ability with the amount of pressure that front four is going to be able to generate and the rest of the talent on that secondary, you have linebackers like Warner and Greenlaw and Al-Shaair who can operate in space. It would be a nightmare to have to consistently throw the football against this defense. And I think that the 49ers are in a really good spot already. And then when you add in a corner of Ward's caliber, it's insane to think that they can be better than they've been the last 3 years when they've finished as a top 5 defense each of those years.
And what about you, Jason? Who stood out to you? Was it the same defensive players for you?
Charvarius Ward was incredible today, man. I mean, it's Brandon Ayuk is a guy that I have ready to break out, but he couldn't get open on this guy. He just couldn't. And that doesn't mean that Ayuk isn't ready to break out. Charvarius Ward was just that good today. And it was clear. It was just evident, man. There was so many plays. Like, they kept trying Charvarius Ward. Like, Lance, after he threw the interception, tried Charvarius Ward again down the field. And Juwan Jennings had like a little step. Like, he had a little push off right there at the end. And boom, the ball goes up. And Charvarius Ward's in the right spot. And then there's Danny Gray trying to cut in between the two of them. He cuts off the right angle. He was electric today. He was clamps. Like, he was just straight up clamps today. And it's exactly what Jordan said. Jordan said it much more elegantly than I'll ever say it. But when you think about what this defense is built on and for how long they had to start a rookie, especially in big games, Ambry Thomas, things like that. Ambry Thomas is now your third, maybe fourth if Jason Verrett comes back. And Charvarius Ward marries that with that pass rush now to a defense that nobody wants to see. And is going to put Trey Lance in many good spots because they're not going to give up a ton. Charvarius Ward, it was incredible today. I understand his practice. In the same way that I'm telling you not to overreact, guess what? I'm overreacting about Charvarius Ward. I'm going to overreact about it because he was that good today.
Absolutely. The defense was phenomenal. You even had Richard Sherman come out and tweet how, hey, maybe the San Francisco 49ers defensive backs are going to be one of the most underrated groups in the NFL this coming year. So it was fun to watch. It was good to see. And I know Jordan's got to get out of here. He's got to get an article out for Niners Nation. But any other kind of overarching topics or themes on your way out that you want to address, Jordan, so we can get you out of here on a good foot?
Yeah, Brad and I have talked at length. I love talking to Brad about anything offensive line. He's my go-to person for it. Anybody who watches his content knows how gifted he is with all aspects of the game, but particularly when it comes to offensive line stuff. And we've talked about how Brunskill playing center makes the most sense given the experience he has there, the body type, his ability to get to the second level. And he took the majority of first-team reps at center today. I think he might have taken all of them, to be honest. I know he for sure took the majority, but that's something to keep an eye on going forward because I do think Brunskill being the center is the best thing for them going forward. And I think that he is the person that has the ability to really elevate out of the options they have now, elevate the production they can get from the center position. So I was really impressed with Brunskill today, and I'm going to keep an eye on whether they might just flip-flop him and Brendel day to day with the ones and see who really sticks. I think Brunskill is going to end up being that guy. So that's one thing I would throw out there really quick. Also, it's so, fun being able to absorb that kind of environment when you're with two superstars. Like, it's really nice. I'm just a guy behind a computer, man. I write words. People read them. I appreciate it. These guys, it's like, hanging out with like Denzel and like Brad Pitt, man. You got people coming up, asking for pictures, autographs, telling them they name their first child after them, their firstborn son, Jason Aponte, it's an experience for me, man. So I'm just saying it's a blessing to get to see these guys cook in public. Just throwing that out there.
You're a gem, Jordan.
As the young kids say, why is this man capping so hard? Yo, what a liar. Like, it's just like lying, man. Like, just straight up lying at this point. My God. No, look, before we go, and you guys are tuned in on both channels, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Make sure that you follow this young man under me who's capping. Follow his Twitter. He's about to drop an article on Niners Nation that I implore you guys to read. He watches many more things than I do because I'm just looking at the quarterback and I just want to give you guys what you want. But he's watching the things that actually matter about the team. So,
hey, man, you come to Niners Nation. I'm giving you Kevin Givens analysis. You come by, I'll have it waiting for you. NinersNation.com, man. Go hit that link right now.
You're going to get Charles Omenihu film clips, whether you like it or not, damn it. Like, that's just what's going to happen.
Hey, what's that article going to look like, Jordan, so the good people know what to expect? Maybe a little teaser for what's coming.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm going to just put out really quick who I thought the player of the day was. You guys just heard it was Tarvarius Ward. I'm going to break down a couple of specific plays and a couple of reasons why I thought he was the best, and then a couple of other takeaways. So I'll expand on the things I just talked about, and then I'll save a couple of other things that you'll find in the article there. You can also find a great breakdown from Kyle Posey, the managing editor of Niners Nation. He put out one, I believe, within the last hour. And you're going to find great content every day for Niners Nation. And, Jason Aponte is a company man too. He's doing pods with Niners Nation too. The empire is ever growing. So head on over to Niners Nation. We got any kind of content you could look for 49ers. We got it over there for you guys.
Absolutely. And we'll send you out, Jordan, on this $20 super chat from Riles E. He says, Jason, Jordan, and Brad, it is so great to see you guys putting in all this work, providing high-level insights, and being genuinely great dudes on top of it all. Really fun getting to see you guys do this. Your Twitter buddy, Riley. Shout out, Riley. Legend. And we will send out
Riley,
Jordan.
Riley,
hey, before I go,
Riley's the East Coast boy now. Riley's he's an East Coast guy now. Yeah, Cali doesn't claim him anymore. He's our guy now.
Can you please, before I go, as a parting gift, I'm sorry if I'm messing up the pronunciation of this name, but Tassio Becerga, can you please put that chat on the screen for Mr. Aponte before I head out, please?
I see it.
The most recent one?
Yes.
This one?
A fantastic name, I might add.
Means you ate something really good is what that means, Tassio. Joke's on you. You're watching me, buddy.
All right, I'm going to head out of here. Thank you guys for everything. Like I said, keep watching these guys. They're fantastic. It's an absolute pleasure knowing both of these gentlemen. And head over to NinersNation.com. We have some great stuff over there. But thanks, guys. I'm going to get out of here.
Later, Jordan. Oh, my goodness. That's a way to exit a pod right there. Oh, my God. That's funny. He's yelling at him right now.
We're in here laughing about it too. Like all three of us, like we're all like in the same room too, and we're just like talking about it backstage. Like it's really good. That's fucking funny, man.
This is high quality 49ers content right now. I'm telling you, you don't want to be anywhere else. Corey Soto says, I'm a Lance fan, but if you're tripping about a bad practice, it's going to be a long season for you. This dude is going to make mistakes in games. I think we've talked about that before. I think, I've warned on it too, like on my own. Like, I think a lot of people are talking about Trey Lance as being this next Mahomes type quarterback. And it feels like that's the bar that's being set and expected of him. Does feel like that could be a little bit of a setup for a failure. So I think we all understand Trey Lance is going to take his lumps. He's going to take time to feel comfortable. And once he does, he will feel good. And I kind of agree with Corey here. 100%. Let's talk a little bit about the offensive line. Peyton says, is it weird for Burford to move from left tackle to right guard? What are your thoughts on this, Jason?
Peyton, I'm not going to lie. This is the biggest surprise of camp. Aside from Brunskill taking the center snaps, Burford just like being entrenched as the first guy on the first team. I do think that that's a little bit like surprising. And I don't know if it's weird, but that's what they're rolling with. And I think that's just something we're going to have to evaluate them on and what they want to do. But yeah, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm honestly shocked. And I shouldn't be shocked at anything with this team, but I'm shocked.
The offensive line has been the funnest development, in my opinion, of training camp. Again, we've been all over watching Brunskill play primarily at center. Burford, the only guy taking starting snaps at right guard, because I feel that, and Jordan said it on his way out, Brunskill will be starting when it's all said and done at center. It's a slow burn. It's typically you'll see this type of kind of position breakdown battle occur in the way practices kind of progress. It's a slow transition. Clearly, he's playing center for a reason, and I think it will be because Brunskill will be starting. So that is going to be quite the situation to watch. But let's talk a little bit about the cornerbacks. I kind of want to pop back to that. Charvarius Ward looked really good. Talk about Emmanuel Mosley. I mean, those two guys are straight clamps. And 2 days in a row, it's been phenomenal to watch.
Let's talk about it, man. Yes, I'm super overreacting about Charvarius Ward, but man, Emmanuel Mosley was so good today in the same regard. Like Brandon Ayuk had problems with both of them. He did. And there was a play that Brandon Ayuk nearly made up the sideline where he jumped up,
Yes.
he had a great catch. Mosley did an amazing job of playing through the entire way and knocking the ball out. He gets credited with a PBU, man.
Yeah.
This is what had me excited about the defense again, and we can go back to this. The cornerback one is now cornerback two, but he has just been so good, like and
It's almost
so
like cornerback
underrated.
1A, cornerback 1B. Like they're both
Yes,
cornerback ones.
yes, 100%. It's just this secondary, this defense. There's no question in my mind this defense is going to be better than last year. Dare I say, and I'm going to explain it in a way. Dare I say, better than 2019, and here's why. 2019, no disrespect to Unk, who was effusive with his praise of this secondary. He talked about everyone in a tweet. And, yeah, when a player says something, you're just like, yeah, whatever. Players are talking heads, da, 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 da. I get it. All right. But they ran a lot of cover three with Unk. And even when Sherman was the guy in Seattle, they weren't leaving him on islands, like covering guys. They just played to his strengths. Now the flexibility that you have, knowing I can leave Ward, I can leave Mosley, and we can really do some exotic things and still protect Hufanga, who actually had a really good day today, playing closer to the line, being able to not have to be that guy. They put him in single high a little bit, but they didn't really do too much too high stuff with him. When you think about the flexibility that you have, because you can do what you can with Mosley and Ward, man, it makes this defense so much scarier when you talk about the pass rush, and then you marry that with it.
I kind of agree. I think this defense really has an opportunity to not only be, one of the best units in the NFL, but we look back at that 2019 team that was so special that went on the run. Feels like they have an opportunity to be better than that unit, like you said. And you look at the linebacking core. You look at Fred Warner, Azeez Al-Shaair, and Dre Greenlaw compared to a up and coming Fred Warner in 2019, Quan Alexander. It's a much different complexion of that linebacking room. And although you don't have Defoe anymore and D Ford, you have so much depth on the defensive line. So it just feels like the 49ers defense is going to continue to stifle any offenses it faces. And let's face it, that's going to aid Trey Lance tremendously. I talk about a lot on this channel playing complementary football, being able to have the defense complement the offense complement the defense. If the offense can run the football and play keep away while giving defenses less opportunities to be on the field, there would be a great chance that the 49ers defense is going to be talked about as an elite unit this year, would you say?
100%. I mean, if I said they're going to be better than 2019, that's saying something with no DeForest Buckner. I think Javon Kinlaw looks like the most massive man in the world. He looks so fit. And if you get anything out of Javon Kinlaw, it's just gravy on top. There's the big debate always. Secondary coverage or pass rush? Well, guess what? You don't have to have that debate anymore. Who cares? When you got both, can't relate. Don't care if just my secondary is good or my pass rush is good. Can't relate. This team is elite at both right now. That's scary. That's very scary. And if Talanoa Hufanga takes steps, the secondary, a lot of people are in trouble. And I just jumped off of a fantasy IG live. If you've got wide receivers that are on your fantasy team and they're facing the 49ers, you might want to think about somebody else, depending if they're elite. If they're not, like, don't be starting your wide receiver 2-3 against the 49ers. You're in trouble now.
Yeah, absolutely. The entire defensive back room today was clamps. E-Man, Charvarius, Ward came away with that nice interception. And then you had a really nice pass breakup from Talanoa Hufanga as well. But let's talk about maybe some surprise running backs to enter the mix. Today
Where's
was
Justin? Where's Justin? Where's
Yeah,
Justin?
where's
Where's Justin?
Justin?
Where's Justin? Justin, if you're watching, come close. I want you to listen to this part. Go ahead, Brad. You got it.
He's been waiting all day for this. Jordan Mason really stood out today, right? Like, not only does he look the part, but when they were giving him the opportunities, he was taking advantage of the opportunities. One of the things that we talked about with Jordan Mason was his ability to catch the football as a receiver. One of his best plays was as a receiver with a little comeback route towards the sideline. I think Nate Sudfeld put it on him, and he stretched out, got that ball, and we're like, "Is that Jordan Mason?" So, tell me a little bit about what you saw from Jordan Mason. Is he a surprise to make the final 53?
Justin, I'm glad you're here, buddy. It's not going to be a surprise. He's making the 53.
Ooh.
He just looks like one of those Shanahan running backs. He was so good today. And yeah, second string, Nate Sudfeld. Not Nate Sudfeld, Jeff Wilson. I see Nate Sudfeld in this chat. That's what got me thrown off. Second string, Jeff Wilson. All that stuff we're in the second day of training camp. Remember last year, first few days, Trey Sermon was the first guy off the bench starting, right?
Yeah. We thought it was Trey Sermon season.
Jordan Mason's making this team, Justin. I'm glad you got his jersey, man. He's gonna make this team, man. Like, I can't believe it. We were like, and the best part is, Justin, too, and this is not football analysis. We're standing there. You got it. We're standing there and we're looking and we're like, Justin bought the jersey. He's gonna actually get to use it. And look at Jordan. This is electric TV right now. This is electric TV right now. But yeah, Jordan Mason is making his team, Justin. I promise you.
Yeah, dude. Justin, you would be happy to know that all of us we're sitting in the stands. We're like, oh my goodness, Justin's about to be so hyped. Justin is about to be so hyped because Jordan Mason really does look like a guy who can crack this roster. Obviously, he has some competition. Jeff Wilson's a vet. They like JaMychal Hasty around here. TDP was added. Trey Sermon, third-round pick. Someone's not going to make the cut. So we'll see what happens. But nice little Jordan Mason nugget. Anything else stand out to you today, Jason, from today's training camp?
The offensive line struggled a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. Is this going to be the offensive line going forward? No. Trent Williams is going to be there. Do we know? No. There's no pads. But for people, like, I had somebody today was like, well, he's having a lot of pressure because he's holding the ball. No, like it was Hike and the defense was in the backfield. The defensive line was in the backfield every single time. It was like Trey was like running for his life. It's a good thing. Your defense is really good. Again. But we're not going to know. It's day 2. Day 2 today is kind of boring. I'll be honest. Let me just be honest. And I know you guys want what you want. It's boring. There's no hitting. Guys are just like running around, like fake tackling, all that stuff. I watched Robbie Gould kick field goals today, by the way. Kicker won. Don't at me. Sorry, Justin Tucker, get worked. But today is just, it is what it is. It's like, this is ramping up. So today was a little boring. Just was. Team periods were what they were. Brock Purdy threw the first interception. Trey Lance threw the second interception. Brock Purdy actually connected with Danny Gray on a deep ball between double coverage, which is actually a pretty good throw. So I just want to make sure I put that out there.
It was a good throw.
Right now to day 2.
Right. Well, I think that's the biggest thing to take away from these practices and all these reports. There's a lot of nuance involved. So when you see like Trey Lance went 7 of 14, this, that, and the other thing, threw an interception, there's a good chance that like probably 4 to 6 of those snaps would have been sacks if they're tackling and those types of things, and they're just throwing it. For perfect example, we got to see Danny Gray show off his speed, just like you mentioned. Brock Purdy hit him on a deep 45-yarder down the field. Beautiful catch, put it in the right spot, but it would have been a sack. It would have been Drake Jackson and Kamoko Ture absolutely obliterating Brock Purdy if this was a scrimmage with contact. So there's a lot of context to take away. Like, we look at the situation like, oh yeah, Danny Gray, you got a bomb from Brock Purdy. Danny Gray caught it in stride, dropped it in the bucket, but that would have been a sack. Like, I'm pretty sure Brock Purdy's head would have popped off because they both reached him at the same exact time. So it's par for the course. So I think that's just the biggest thing with training camp, right? Is you can take things away, but to just have absolutes. What's good, KP?
Look at KP.
KP. We got all the homies on board. If you don't know, KP, managing editor of the Niners Nation, legend. But overall, it's good to be back. Good to get our eyes on football. Good to watch people overreact to things. It's a lot of good time.
Good to hug Brad Graham.
Oh, I got to see my guy. Shout out official BNA.
I didn't.
You were gone already, I think. But he came up, said, "What's good?" I was like, my guy. Good to see BNA today.
What the hell, man?
What the hell, man? But again, a lot of context to take away from practice today. There's good, there's bad, a lot of different things. But I think the 49ers are moving in the right direction. Anything else, Jason? I know you got a lot of stuff going on around you, and I know you don't want to just pod all day. So any last points that you want to touch on, and then we'll get this thing wrapped up?
No, again, everything deserves its context. Everything deserves time. I think that we all agreed that there were going to be bumps and bruises. Today was just, shout out to Ryan, man. It was so nice to meet you and your mom today, man. You guys were good, man. It just, don't overreact, right? Even though I overreacted and Travis Ward is the greatest cornerback since Deion Sanders. Like that's it. It's like it's done now. But yeah, it's okay to contextualize what's going on, right? Trent Williams wasn't there. Offensive line was getting worked a little bit. Sure, maybe Trey held the ball a little bit. Like those things. Like, it's all a work in progress. That's it, and that's the thing, and that's what makes training camp so fun. So yeah, it's easy to get wrapped up and again, so many people just want to back up their narrative with whatever it is and just say this and that. It's early. It's very early. Wait till the pads come on. Wait till guys start feeling the hits. They start feeling it, and you start to see, like, Eric Armstead wasn't out there today. Trent Williams wasn't out there today. Like, they're just working through stuff. Like, right now, it's early on. I will say this. Last year's training camp compared to this year's training camp is far more lit. More people signing of autographs and the way that they're interacting. And today's hype machine was actually much better. They did, swag surfing, that was way better. Much better. Much better. Going forward. So Jason Poe was actually really good at doing that as well too. But without pads, guys can't really hit. Guys can't really do anything like in terms of that. So yeah, we're saying the offensive line's getting work. Well, let's see when, guys are really hitting and they're anchoring. And let's just wait for the best left tackle. And, oh, by the way, Kyle Shanahan threw a ton of picks today. I'm tired of him, man. And I have questions about Kyle and his arm fatigue at this
Kyle
point,
was not cooking today.
He was not good today. Kyle was not good today.
I've noticed that. I've noticed over the years, Kyle's kind of declined a little bit. He might be time to hang it up for Kyle. I don't know.
Might be time to move some first round picks so we can replace our coach, man. Like, he just was not cooking today.
Oh my goodness. But again, as always, good to see you, Jason. Good to see all the faithful at training camp today. No training camp tomorrow.
Not for us. I think it's a media practice, though. I don't think it's not for us. So, unfortunately, Brad, we're not media. So, we're just gonna have to go off.
We just play media.
We're gonna have to go off the reports of the people that are better than us. So, just make sure you guys are tapped in with those guys,
man. But that being said, we will be back for Saturday's practice. Saturday already feels like It's going to be a legendary practice. The vibes in the stand have been fantastic, and it feels like Saturday is going to be a litty day. So definitely looking forward to it. So we'll be back for practice on Saturday, and we'll be able to give more analysis from then on out. But please tell the good people where to find more of your content.
Right here, Jason Aponte 2103 is where you'll find me tweeting about what's going on at training camp. So for the people that are asking and you've never been there, team periods you can't take video or photos. Like Kyle's like very secretive with that stuff. So like when I say like this play happened, where's the video? We can't. Like we just can't.
Right.
Like
You got to
if they
wait
do
for the team to
one-on-ones,
post it.
if they do one-on-ones, that's fine. We can do that. But there is a large period of time, and anybody who's been in training camp knows, like they throw that up. You can't record anything. And it's not just us. Like it's the people that are actually there. So, yeah, just Jason Aponte 2103. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell on both channels, because when I leave, because I'm not gonna be here for all the practices, I gotta get home. My daughter misses me. I gotta get home and take care of her. Brad's got you. He's going to be there all those other days. So make sure you're tapped in with the glorious beard. And, shout out to everybody who's tapped in, man. I appreciate you guys. And, it's really fun to get back to talking about football. Really, really fun.
Absolutely. So definitely going to have more 49ers content coming for you guys as always. So stay tapped in. We appreciate all the support. All the good stuff. Next Wednesday, you're going to be here still? You're going to be back on the East Coast?
Nah, Monday and Tuesday, I'm here for the practices. But after Tuesday's practice is when I got to get to the airport and get back. But Wednesday, we'll do State of the Franchise. And I know a guy who's going to take really good notes. So I'll just jump on and be like, hey, man, what did I see? Like, you should let me host that one so I could ask you all the questions, Mr. Superstar.
We should maybe switch off every once in a while. I feel like we've gone just into the groove, but it'd be nice.
Nah, but Wednesday, I'm going to have to do that because I won't be there. So I'll say, hey, what did you see today? Like, there's no point in me talking about things that I have no idea I'm talking about. Mike Silver and everybody else who's never at camp, by the way. So yeah.
Either way, State of the Franchise coming to you hot next Wednesday. Shout out to everyone who tapped in. Make sure you hit that sub button on both channels. Hit that like button as always. Smash the noties. Appreciate all the spicy and sourdough squad, especially everyone who said what's up to camp. It's been a lot of fun connecting with all you guys, and we will connect again on Saturday. So for now, you be safe, Jason. You take care of Jordan and KP, those wild little guys over there.
Pull up to Yard House and come say what's good, because you know that's where I'm gonna be at.
So if you want to catch Jason, say what's up. He is going to be at your local Yard House. So make sure you say what's up. Appreciate everyone for tapping in. We're out of here. Appreciate